I think this case has been unique in that the country's really gotten to know who they are. A lot of these cases, especially people who are in detention, very little is known about them. Visits are restricted, information is restricted, they're often referred to by pseudonyms in court documents. There's not really a chance for people to humanise these stories and to put a face on them. That's very different with this family. Priya and Nades are now well known across the country. There've been interviews with them, videos of their children, videos with their friends and families here. And then a video last week that was quite shocking, actually, that leaked out of the deportation attempt itself showed Priya being separated from her children and her children screaming. Priya was not allowed to sit with her children to comfort them. She was kept in a separate part of the plane. It was really quite dramatic and distressing footage, and I think this is a unique case in that sort of access and vision of what the government policy actually means when it's being enacted on real people. I think that's really cut through. In this case, the Labor opposition has really jumped on board in supporting the cause for this family to be granted an exception to live here. They've called for the minister to use his incredible powers. He has, they're colloquially referred to as God powers, to grant them a discretionary allowance to actually stay here, to override the court rulings. The debate between the two sides has gotten quite personal. Because this is a bit of a departure from Labor's normal stance, which is often quite supportive of the coalition's border policies. They've been labelled hypocrites, populists, but then on the other side, religion has been brought into it as well. And Christina Keneally, who's the opposition spokesperson for immigration, she's a deeply religious person herself, and she's called on Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who's an evangelical Christian. She's appealed to his Christianity to take a softer approach with this family.
I'm calling upon him to reflect upon the parable of the Good Samaritan, which invited us as Christians to take care of the stranger in our land.
I don't think that politically there's a way out of this where the government can allow them to stay while still saving face. We don't know what the court is going to do tomorrow, whether it's going to extend an injunction, we're not even quite sure whether it can order the department to reassess the refugee claims of the youngest daughter, and that's what this one is centred around. I don't think the situation's looking very good for this family and their desire to stay in Australia. The issue of returning Tamils to Sri Lanka is quite a contentious one in Australia. We've returned thousands, rejected their refugee claims and sent them back. But there are also several cases of people being returned and arrested and detained on arrival. There have been some reports of disappearances, continued persecution of people. It's hard to know specifically with this couple how much danger they are facing, but they've repeatedly said that they're very scared to go back.